Right, hello everyone. Thank you again for joining us. I think this is our 11th session that we've done, and today we're with the amazing jeweler, B. Sanderson. So hi, B.
Hello.
Very slight technical issue, but we're all good, we're all back.
We're here.
And you're joining us from Hastings today, I understand, in your lovely studio, which we can see behind you.
Well, it's not quite the studio because we
You do?
haven't got the computer in the studio, but you can see some of my work behind me. Yeah.
Fantastic. It all looks absolutely fabulous. So I think, first of all, Leslie is just going to quickly show us your page in our ART360 magazine, which she'll pop on the screen for everyone to see. And we'll have a little look at your work, and then we'll go in and start talking about you and your artist story.
Okay.
Just wait for her to pop it up. There we go. Fab. So if anyone wants to have a look at Bee's work in our magazine, just pop onto our website, as you can see Leslie doing here. And it's down on our issue down here. Finding your name.
53. You've passed it. 53. That's it.
There we are. And that's got your contact details and everything in there for you as well.
That's right. Yes.
Wonderful. And everyone can see that there's a button at the bottom of the screen saying read the ART360 magazine. You click on there, or like we say, go through the website. Right, Bea, I'm really interested to talk to you, Bea, because I'm not naturally understanding of jewelry as much as other art forms. So I'm really interested to find out more about you and your work. So the first thing I want to do is could you just show us or describe a current work that you've been working on, or like your latest piece?
Well, I'll show you this first of all. This is a piece that it's a commission piece for a special birthday. And it's amber, as you can see, it's amber and little bits of amber that I've carved here, little bits of gold and some druzy agate here. Now,
That's
the
beautiful.
inspiration for this is, I'll just show you this, something that I made nearly 50 years ago. Now, 2 or 3 people have wanted to buy this, but it's actually a bit more like a piece of armor than a necklace. Very, very heavy. So this has been the inspiration for the amber piece that I showed you, and much lighter, of course, because the amber is very, very light, so it's much lighter, and that's going off for somebody's birthday very soon. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Do you want to look? I'll show you something else. I'll show you the sketches first of all. So this is how I work. Draw the thing out, annotate it all, so I know what I'm doing. And then what I do is I'll maybe do 2 or 3 drawings, and then I do a couple of paint ups, and then they can decide which one they want best. I think there's another one here. Let's see. Yeah. So then the customer decides which one they want, and then I make it up. Yeah. Okay.
That's wonderful. That's your commission process. So it starts off with the idea, sketch, and then your paints. Oh, fabulous.
But the important thing is that the person has to decide what kind of stones they want, what colours, etc. I made another one similar to that, and it was purples. So the person that's having this one likes autumn colours. So that's why the amber, yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Amazing. So I know that you studied in Glasgow. We were talking about your accent just earlier.
Yeah.
Could you tell me a bit about your artist story and yourself, and how you got to where you are now and what you studied, just your journey up until now?
Well, obviously I grew up near Glasgow, and I thought about going to Edinburgh Art School, but then Glasgow. And I have to tell you, at the time, this is quite a long time ago, back in Jurassic Park, Glasgow Art School didn't quite have the same, cachet as it has now. Although there is no Glasgow School of Art anymore because of the fire. But when I got there, it was like, oh, this is absolutely amazing. Yeah. So I studied, actually, I was quite a good painter stroke draftsman. And I went into the painting school at first. I didn't really like that because we weren't getting the good enough tuition. So then I discovered I was a designer. So I went down the Macintosh stairs and across to the design school, and I studied jewellery and silversmithing for about 4 years. Yeah, so that's how that came about. Yeah, that's it, Mollie. Yeah.
And you did some teaching as well. We were discussing earlier.
Yes. Well, I should tell you. What will I tell you? what I obviously I did my degree, and then I got the postgraduate, and I went down to London to study in Hatton Garden. That was sponsored by Goldsmiths Hall.
Amazing.
And I did that as part of my postgraduate. And when I came back, well, I had to do some work, didn't I? I had to do some work, but I had no money. I couldn't set up a workshop. So the next thing was be a teacher. So I did that for a long time. At the same time, though, I was always making things. I can show you some of the stuff that I used to make if you like. Actually, I should
Oh,
show you
please
some of the
do.
stuff. No, Molly, let me show you some of the stuff that I made at art school. Here's some of the stuff I made at art school. Now, I haven't got very much left, but when you're at art school, of course, you can make bonkers things like so. Here were some of the concept rings I made. Let's have a look now.
My next thing
jewellery.
was going to say, do you do rings? That's what I was going to ask you. They're very cool.
Oh yeah, I did hundreds of rings. So this was the concept jewellery. I'll show you a couple of other bits and pieces. Well, this is a very nice brooch. Now, of course, you can make daft stuff like that when you're at art school. Yeah, and a pair of earrings, Molly. Not small at all. Not small.
We love it. We love a big earring.
Look at that. Bonkers. What else have I got? Quite a nice brooch, actually. That's quite a nice brooch. Yeah, very nice.
That's very nice. It's got like a wave on it.
This is the very first thing I ever made, a little tiny ring. It's really, actually, I still think that's really quite a nice little ring. Yeah.
Oh, can you hold up the jewels in it to the camera a bit?
No, it's I think it's a little bit of turquoise, yeah, a little bit of turquoise. So I made that when I was 18, and I still think that's a good design. I still think that's quite good.
I think that's really nice.
And here's another daft thing here. Look. Yeah.
Oh.
Not very practical.
Keep it a bit still with the, there we are.
There you go. Oh, not very practical.
Like a knuckle duster.
It is a knuckle duster. And here's another daft thing here. Look at this here. No idea why, Molly. No idea. It just seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah. That experimentation. That's really, really cool. And these were all made when you were at the art school?
Yes. I mean, I was the early times in the art school.
Oh, I like that.
A little bit of enameling. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's everything in that box. So that's what I was up to at art school. All the good stuff is all gone, really. I don't know what I did with it. And I say that was my degree piece, that one there. You can see the sort of, well, I think you can see the influence of Charles Rainey Macintosh there, and he was a huge influence, really. Yeah, the colours and the stones and the shapes, really. Yeah. Okay.
That sounds like a real winner if you've had lots of pieces worked from that piece that you did at school. That's very cool.
Well, this is a really interesting thing because my whole, I say the impetus of my work is try to make things that are timeless, you know, try not to make things that look like they're from the 2000s or 2020. Try to make things that when people look at them, they can't really tell when they were made. So that one, I think, fits the bill because people are still trying to buy it nearly 50 years later. So I mean, don't wear it or anything, but I'm quite pleased with the design of it. Yeah. I think that's worked really well, that one. Yeah.
That's so you obviously do a lot of commission work when you were showing us your sketchbook just then, but when you do your own pieces for yourself or to sell, how does the inspiration come for them?
Well, now that's another interesting thing because the inspiration, I'll hold something up here. The inspiration is always the stones and the colours. So that is what inspires me. And I go to lots of stone fairs and buy what I try and buy is really, really unusual stones with colours, textures and things, and try to interpret them. I mean, that really is the whole thing. I'm not really a jeweler. What I am is a designer who works in metal. That's how I think of myself, a designer who works in metal. And then I like the, how could you say it? The restriction of it's got to go on a body. It's got to fit somebody. It's got to be able to be worn. So here's another one here. Now, and I love texture, really, really, really love texture. So this is Peacock Pearls.
Yeah.
With silver. And this is amber. Actually, I bought this amber in the Jewish market in Krakow. So it's Baltic amber from the Baltic Sea.
Mhm.
That's very light, that one. So it's the texture and shapes and color. That's the really important thing to me. So when I pick up a strand of, I'll maybe go to a stone fair and pick up a strand of something or other. And I think, well, what can I do with that? That's the inspiration, really, Molly. That is the inspiration. I'll give you that, Tom. Thank you. Thanks. Okay.
They all look wonderful. They all have such a like strong theme, like you say, with the textures, or with, and like you say, you're doing all this experimentation you did at school. But then, like you say, if there's parameters of it's got to be somewhat wearable, which is really
Well,
nice.
a lot of people make they make jewellery that's concept jewellery, you know, like the rings that I showed you when I was an art
Yeah.
student, and that's fine. But to me, jewellery has to be worn. Because it's an expression of yourself, right?
Mm.
Now, I'm gonna get a bit bolshy here, but a lot of people think that jewellery is trivial, but it's not, because people wear jewellery for many, many reasons. It denotes your tribe. It denotes possibly how much money you've got, your ideas about yourself, how you feel about yourself. I mean, it's very, very expressive. And we've probably been wearing jewellery longer than we ever wore clothes. If you think about it, people, long ago, they wore flowers in their hair, or they pleated bits of grass, or they wore shells around their necks, bits of stone. I mean, it is a primeval thing, decorating yourself. So anybody that says that jewellery is trivial, it's not true. It's actually it's as important as clothing, and probably came before clothing, to be honest. Yeah, so I'm very passionate about it. You can tell that, really, can't you? Really passionate. I'm really passionate about it. It is a very expressive medium, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it was expressive for you and expressive for the people wearing it. Like you said, I think that's really important to get across.
Yes, and people show who they are. I mean, I said that already, but people show who they are by what they wear. I mean, sorry about that, Molly.
That's all right. I'm doing that all the
This big
time.
piece of jewellery
Yeah.
on here. You can see that now. Quite a lot of.
Oh
Sometimes
wow.
it takes a bit of guts to wear a big piece of jewellery. Like I'm putting in the wrong ear. I think that's right this time. Yeah, it takes a bit of guts to wear big jewellery. But I think once you've done it once or twice, and then you think, well, actually, I can get away with this. But it tends to be slightly older people that wear it. I don't see a lot of younger people wearing this sort of thing. But older women feel confident in what they're wearing. They buy some big pieces of jewellery, express themselves. Yeah.
Is that one of your pieces that you're wearing on your neck?
This is quite an interesting thing, because I bought a dress, a black dress, all covered in agates like this, and I thought,
Oh
oh,
wow.
I'll have to make a piece of jewellery to match, which I
Of
did.
course.
Of
That's a
course,
benefit of the job, isn't it? You always
yeah,
have something match.
I
I love
can make
that.
something to match. I can make it to
Complete
match.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
have there been any significant people throughout your career, throughout your journey, that have really had an effect on you as an artist, as a jeweler?
Quite a lot, Molly. Quite
Yeah.
a lot. So the first person was my teacher when I was about 10. Now, at that time, I mean, Scotland's always been famous for its education, really, really high standards, particularly 60 odd years ago. Very, very high standards. And they were throwing money at education in Scotland back then. There was a scout came round all the primary schools looking for the children that had a little bit of artistic talent. And I was one of the lucky ones that was chosen. And I was allowed to go to the Saturday morning art class, every Saturday morning for about 3 hours, given wonderful tuition, allowed to paint and draw. It was fantastic. And what it did was it gave me a portal into another world. Here's something that you could do. And the teacher was Miss Smith. And she was fantastic. She wore Mary Quant clothes. I mean, very quaint. It was fabulous. And she was very, very, very inspirational. Now, I actually wrote to her. I never saw her again after I was about 13, but I kept in touch with her until she died about 8 years ago, just to say, you were wonderful. You really helped me, So I think that's the thing about education. If you get a really good teacher, nothing like it really, she was wonderful for me. Actually, she won an award. She won a medal for her services to education. That's how good she was. So that was the first one, Mollie. There's
That's
lots.
fabulous.
Yeah, there's lots. Will I tell you more?
Oh, please, no, please do. She sounds wonderful. She sounds like a perfect teacher, and that's so
She
nice
was
that you kept in
perfect.
touch with her. And I bet it made her life that she had such an inspiration on you.
Well, I
How,
don't know about that. I mean, I'll tell you one really good thing. About 8-9 years ago, I was in an exhibition in the Mall galleries in London, and I didn't meet her, I guess I say it, but she went along to the show, and she called me, and she said, "I've just seen your jewellery, and I'm so proud of you because you haven't stayed back in the 1970s. You've moved, you've evolved." And it's like, that was the best thing that ever happened. She really she inspired me, and yet she was giving me affirmation for my work being good. I was wonderful, really. Yeah, yeah.
that's so.
Yeah. Now listen, I was going to show you something else. I was going to show you some of this stuff here because when after I left art school, I had no money, Mollie, and I was teaching, but I had no place to do any work at night. So this is the sort of thing I used to do. I used to make
Oh wow!
pewter. I used to make pewter stuff. Whoops, that one's gone. And yeah, this pewter and plastic. Because I had nowhere to work, so I used to do it in the kitchen, tight kitchen the size of a shoebox, um, and sell them in little galleries and little shops and things like that. Because I didn't want to stop working. I wanted to keep working, but no money, no time, no place. So I think that's the thing. If you have the impetus, you always want to work. Somehow you'll make it work. Somehow, yeah.
Those look beautiful. One of those looked exactly like a peacock feather. Was that the one
Let's
you
have
said
a.
was plastic?
Oh yeah, that's a plastic one. Yes, this was something. This was something called magic plastic, and
Yeah.
and it was fantastic. I made tons of this stuff, and you put it in hot water, and then you
Yeah.
could manipulate it, yeah, and then you could stick stones in it, and then this one's actually got a pewter background. That must have been a right palaver. I can't remember making that. And this is pewter here, but you know what was really great about it? It was the immediacy of the thing. You could make something right away, whereas with silver, takes a long time. It's you got to bash it out, melt it. Yeah, this is magic plastic as well. So I was working really, really hard. I love this one here actually. This pewter one here. It's kind of like Art Nouveau. That one at the top there. Anyway, that's what you do when you've got no money, no time. You make something.
It shows your passion, doesn't it? You can't stop you.
Can't stop. Can't stop. I mean, yeah, I've thought about retiring, but I think, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Might as well keep going. Yeah.
You'll probably still find yourself making things, though, even if you did say you'd retire.
I'd make
You'd never.
something. I'd make something. Definitely, yeah. Now, I was going to tell you about something else, if that's
Yes,
okay.
of
I'm
course.
going
Yeah,
to tell you
absolutely.
about Charles Rennie Macintosh. Now, Charles Rennie Macintosh, Mollie, you probably know, but I'm going to just tell you anyway. Charles Rennie Macintosh designed Glasgow School of Art. And Glasgow School of Art was the most fantastic building because it was a work of art. So you were working inside a work of art. So every day you were seeing something exquisite. It wasn't precious. The doors were all bashed. There was paint everywhere, but it was an artwork. So going into that environment inspired you all the time. And in actual fact, when we were in the second year, when I was a jewellery student, all the girls in my, and because it was mostly girls, all the girls in my year, they all did Macintosh designs, because you couldn't help yourself.
Mm.
But we took the Macintosh designs and then we kind of evolved it. Yeah. So then it became yours. A bit like that big neck piece that I showed you. You know, there's Macintoshes there, but we've changed it a little bit. Yeah. But he was extremely influential to me, and everybody that's been to Glasgow School of Art as well. Yeah. Extremely important in my life. Yeah.
Oh, how wonderful. Yeah, that idea of making artwork in a work of art, that's just phenomenal.
I mean, but I think when you're young, which I was obviously when I was there, you don't understand the importance of it. You don't understand how privileged you are, because it's every day. You know, we're at art school, Charles Rennie Macintosh. Okay, Charles Rennie Macintosh. It's only afterwards that you realise, oh my, what privilege we had to be in an artwork. Yeah, it was really special, very special, but cold as well, really cold. Really cold. I kind of wanted to do ceramics, but the ceramics department was in the basement, and it was like the Arctic. I mean, no. So the jewellery department was warm because you could put on the torches, and it was
Yeah.
boiling hot. So that's where I ended up. So there you go. Yeah.
And I'm curious to know, we were talking about this a little bit in the green room before with Leslie. What sort of advice would you give that's come from your personal experience as a jeweler?
Well, can I preempt that by telling you some other thing, which is about the I'm in the Sussex Guild of Craftsmen, and I have been for 20 years, and this is quite relevant to the advice that I would give you, because I've been on the selection committee for 20 years, and we get submissions every 3 months. We look at submissions, and we always look at for the same thing, and that is originality. Yeah. So my advice to anyone would be, first of all, be as original as you can. Don't copy, don't emulate, be inspired, like with Charles Rennie Macintosh, be inspired, but don't copy. So that's the main advice I'd give. And probably as well, never give up, because there's going to be loads of obstacles. Like with me, that like no money, no time, no space, nothing, you know, no way to make anything. Don't give up, make something. And but you got to really believe in your work. You've got to believe that it's valuable, that you want to do it, that you feel that you feel there's a value in it. Doesn't matter if people don't want to buy it. You know, there's a market for everything, though. One time I made a necklace, and it was a very peculiar greeny yellow. I'll never sell this. I will never sell this. It took 8 years. And then an opera singer came along to one of the guild shows and said, "Oh my God, I've been looking for this for forever. Please have it, madam. It's for sale." So you'll sell something eventually. So that's a good piece of advice. Never give up. And then the other thing is, don't compare yourself to anybody else. Don't you use your own voice. And the most important thing is, don't just do it for the money. It's not a charity, but if you're only doing it for the money, you're not putting yourself into, and the self is the thing that sells. When you put yourself into a piece of work, people recognize it, and then they want it. So that's I would say that's a very, very important thing. And that's what we look for when we see people coming to the guild to be members. Is it their own work, or are they just copying somebody? Yeah. So that's quite important. Yeah.
I think they're very strong piece of advice. Very, very strong.
Yes.
Leslie's going to pop up your website onto the screen now, I think, Leslie. Sorry, I should have given you a bit of warning, Leslie. And we're going to have a look at that and have a look at a bit more of your work on there. Thank you for those examples you've shown us. It's very hard to show jewellery on the camera, and you've done it so well with your boards.
I've got a couple more to show you if you want, but we'll see how we go here. Yes, that's the main page, yeah.
So this is your website. Fantastic. Yeah. Oh, I love that blue one. That really solid one in the middle.
Yeah. The colour's good. You see, the colour is just great, isn't it?
Yeah. Is that slightly transparent, that blue? So it would sort of...
No,
it's not.
It's opaque, but it's very shiny, so it picks up. It's like a mirror, picks up other sort of colours. Yeah. So what that is, it's agate, but it's electroplated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think it's done in China. Very, very clever people. So I think they take kind of dull coloured stones. Nobody's ever going to use them. Electroplate them, and then you have this marvelous colour. So yeah, really nice. Yeah, I love that one. Yeah.
Are there any other pieces on there that you can tell us a bit about of that selection?
I'll tell you about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth row down. Can I move that cursor? This one here. Well, no, go along. Next one again. Yeah, this one. This one again. This is made of something called hematite. Tiny little squares of hematite. But again, they're electroplated, so you get this wonderful, shiny, silvery. And it looks great on because the leaves are made of silver, so they kind of tinkle when you wear them. It's really very pretty, that one, actually. Yeah.
That is beautiful. And like you say, with the shine, I bet that reflects anything you wear.
Yes. And now let's see, what else have we got? Now let's see. So this one here, let's see. So if you go down, let's see, I don't know how to describe it. It's a triangular piece. Can you see it? The brown triangular piece? That one? Yeah. That is the stones in that are fantastic because they're triangular, but they're actually faceted all the way over and they're slightly on a twist. Just beautiful stones. So I saw them and I thought, oh my God, because I'm always looking for unusual stones. Don't want to make ordinary things. I'm going to have them. What can I make? So when you get the stone, then you think, what can I make with this? And in fact, it's when I lift the stone up, quite often it's obvious what I'm going to do. I don't even have to draw it. I mean, at art school, you had to draw everything. You must draw it and you must do all the technical drawings. But now I've been making for so long, I just pick the thing up and then I know what I'm going to do with it. Yeah. So you can't really see it on the screen there, but the silver is also textured. So it gives a nice contrast between the stones and the silver. Yeah.
That's fabulous. And do you have rings on there for sale, or do you mostly do your necklaces?
Well, necklaces are a sort of my, what would you say, my signature piece, but I got loads of rings on the website, loads. Look, there's hundreds of blinkings. They're more difficult to sell because selling a ring on the website, it tells you all the sizes, it tells you how to measure your finger, etc. They're just a little bit more difficult to sell though, but I love making rings. Well, you can see I've got loads of rings there, loads of them, loads. Yeah, unusual ones.
Oh, wow.
That's a little opal. That one, yeah, that's opal. The next one here, go for the end. That one. Look at the color of that stone. It's fantastic. It's called apatite. Beautiful blue, fantastic. Yeah. And that's an abalone. And that's a beautiful pink tourmaline. The colour is stunning on that one. Yeah. You can tell I really like the stones because
yeah, it was lovely.
I love the stones because the stones are really the thing that drives the jewellery. The metal is just there to enhance the stones really, because the stones are the most exciting thing. Yeah. I just sold those earrings yesterday. No, down, and to the left. Those were sold yesterday. Yeah. So they're agate. They're dyed agate, but the dye doesn't come out. The dyeing process is a very, very ancient, not ancient, the Victorians invented how to dye stones. And I'm sure the process is different now, but many, many stones that you see, agates, etc., from the Victorian period are dyed. So just continuing with that process, really. Yeah. If you go up and see the green one, yeah, that one there. Look at the colour. I mean, it's not everybody's taste, but the colour. So I saw the green, the pendant part at a trade fair. I thought, oh my, I have never seen a green like that. I'm having it. And what it is, it's actually garnets. Now, people think garnets are red, but these are actually, let me see, no, I can't remember the name. Uvavurite? No, that's not right. Something like that garnet. And the round stone is actually abalone, which is shell. Yeah. So I really love those, actually. And you know, Molly, if something doesn't sell, if I have it long enough and it doesn't sell, then it becomes mine.
Mm.
And then do you know what happens after that? I wear it, and so I wear it to a show, and somebody says, "Oh, I'd like to buy that."
I bet, yeah.
Every time, every time. So yeah, little fuchsia earrings, that they're very popular. I've made maybe 5 or 6 of those over the years. That's a popular design. Yeah, yeah.
That's fabulous. So where is the best place for people to contact you and purchase your work? It's through the website, and you also
Yeah.
sell, like you said, the Guild as well.
Yes, so the Sussex Guild of Craftsmen does fairs, about 6 fairs a year.
Mm-hmm.
They've also got a very nice shop in Lewis, but I don't have my work there. But of course, COVID, there's been no shows.
Yeah.
So we're selling online mainly at the moment, through my website. And yeah. Oh, I also sell in Lewis. There's a shop called the Workshop in Lewis, and I sell there as well. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the best way. If anybody's interested, is the website. Yeah, yeah.
Fab. And we've already got loads of questions. If anyone has another question, pop it in the questions and answers box. But we'll go through these if that's okay.
Yes.
First question is, have you ever worked with or collaborated with Hand Engravers?
No. No, because then that's an interesting question, because hand engraving is just so fantastic, and I was rubbish at it at art school,
Yeah.
absolutely rubbish. And the kind of things that they do is so very different from what I do that it's not really compatible. But I admire them enormously because I couldn't do it. Wasn't skilled enough. Yeah.
And when you were teaching jewelry, or what were you teaching?
That's an interesting question, because I set up a jewellery workshop, and we did
Mm-hmm.
enamelling, but not silver work. We didn't do anything like it. That was just going to be too complicated with torches and things for kids. I don't think so. I don't think so. No,
They're dangerous enough with a paintbrush. It's just
absolutely. And clay, we did clay. Oh my God. Best trick with clay is you get a bit of clay and then you throw it up on the ceiling, and the teacher doesn't notice till it falls on her head, right?
that's speaking from experience.
Oh yes. Oh yes. And so yes, a bit enameling. And I think what I used to do is I used to buy in copper blanks, and we just did quite simple stuff. And oh yeah, I forgot the plasticky stuff. This kind of they call it Fimo, that sort of stuff. We did Fimo as well. So we did a little bit of metal work and a little bit of Fimo as well. This was a girls, 13-year-old girls at school. Yeah, that sort of age group. Yeah, that was interesting.
An experience.
Yes, it was an experience. Yes.
Do you ever use precious stones as well as semi-precious stones?
I do. And you know what? Where's that? Tom, can you see if my wedding rings are through there? Precious stones. Well, I think it's through in the other room. Sorry, I've got my lovely assistant running about for me. Not so much. Now I'll tell you why. Because there are people that do it much better than me. People that set stones, and that's their skill. My interest is not in that. I mean, I've got plenty of it, but I don't really want to make it myself. I want to use these big unusual stones to make things. Really, that's what I want. Look, here's my favorite piece here. Look, I'll get it out of here. Let me just take this one out here. Look. I'm going to show you that in a minute, Mollie. Sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry at all.
I'm going to put these back in.
It looks beautiful, whatever it is.
It's here. Look. See, so this is the sort of thing that I like to do, because what you've got is, this is aquamarines, and these are it's silver, but it's gold plated. Now, this is me trying to get what would you say, a timeless piece, because what era was it made in? Well, actually, it could have been worn 5,000 years ago, really. So that's my favorite sort of thing. So fine jewelry I love, and I make himself buy it for me. but I don't really make it. It's okay. Sorry. It's okay. Okay, that's it. Sorry. Sorry. So
That's all right. All right, at all.
Okay.
Brilliant. And we've got, what was next? Do you have your own hallmark for your silversmithing work? Is that?
Yes, that's right. I have got a hallmark which I stamp myself.
Cool.
What I do, I stamp 925, which is a silver stamp, and my own mark, which is BS. If somebody wants it hallmarked by a Goldsmiths Hall, except I use the Edinburgh Assay office, it can be sent there. It costs a lot of money, and then you have to pay for the postage and all that. But I'm happy to do that as well. But generally, I just put my 925 stamp, which is silver, and my stamp BS on the work. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. And what brought you to Hastings? I'm not sure this is sarcastic. Was it the sunshine?
It absolutely was. I couldn't stand Scotland. I love Scotland, but I remember standing in my kitchen. It was September. It was horizontal rain, and I thought, do you know what? It's got to be like this for 8 months. I can't stand it. So husband and I, well, it was my idea. Tom, we're going to go to California. We're going to Silicon Valley. That's what we're going to do. And the first job that came up was Hastings. Right, well, we'll just go to Hastings for 2 years. 38 years later, here we are. And it is much sunnier here. It's much sunnier than Scotland. It's not as sunny as Silicon Valley, but, you got to compromise, haven't you, Mollie?
Absolutely. Hastings, Silicon Valley.
It's the same thing, Mollie.
We love Hastings. We were talking about this earlier, weren't we? I love Hastings. The madness of it, we were saying.
Madness. Total flipping anarchy down Hastings. Love it. Yeah.
So do you make pieces, or have you made pieces for men before?
Oh, yeah. He's just taken the ring off. I made this because he's a very naughty husband, right? This is a story behind this, Mollie. When I was at art school, we can't find my wedding and engagement ring. I'll tell you where it is. I think it might be up in my dressing room, right? So I made his wedding ring, and I made my set, and he lost a wee bit of weight, and it was a wee bit slack, and we were in Greece. And he was swimming, and what do you think happened? It fell off, went in the stones. Oh, Mollie, was I angry? Oh, well, we actually cried. We cried.
Oh,
Anyway, so we cried. So then I thought, right, okay, well, I'll make you another one. So I made him this one, and this here is all the. Remember we were talking about symbols. This is all the symbols here. Look, Mollie, this is to make him guilty every single day. There's the water, and there's the stones of Plaka Beach, yes. And he gets to wear that every day. And when he looks at it, he thinks, I'm a very bad person. Yeah.
Should weld it to his finger.
Yeah, that's what I will do. So that's Tuesday. And I'll just show you this now. Look, Mollie, here I'm again, like this was my engagement and wedding ring that I made when I was engaged. I don't know whether you can see it. Look, here it is here. Look. So we're talking about fine jewellery.
Oh God, that's beautiful.
Diamonds and an 18-karat gold. My tutor gave me the part of the gold here, actually. So again, trying to make something that is timeless, that doesn't date. So that's pretty ancient now, actually. Yeah. So it's like a little castle. Look, it's like a little castle.
Oh wow! And the square shape just makes it so contemporary, doesn't it? But
yes,
like you say, timeless.
Contemporary.
Oh,
anyway, there. So sometimes I do make, but very rarely. Yeah.
And the last question I've got here is: I see references to sea in your work. Where does that come from? Is that from Hastings?
Well, it probably is. Yes. Sea. Is it from? Is that from Hastings? The sea references. You know what? I've always lived beside water. So I think that probably is quite important to me. I haven't really thought about that before, but probably, yeah. Who wants to live inland? I want to live beside the sea all the time. Yeah, definitely. And we do go, actually, after this, we're going to go out and walk along the front beside the sea.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, here we are.
Oh, I'm jealous. And Leslie's just joined us on screen as well.
Okay.
Oh, finger muted, Leslie. It's been so lovely talking to you. It's been so nice to hear more about your work.
Thank you, Mollie, so much.
Pleasure.
There you are. I've unmuted myself. I have been absolutely in stitches.
What did I say? What did I say?
Fabulous. I have loved listening to that. You've had me with a smile on my face, laughing away, listening to all your stories. It's just been absolutely brilliant. I love all the, from Glasgow to Hastings via in your head.
In my head.
California.
Silicon Valley. Never even been to Silicon Valley, have we? We've never even been.
You need to go on holiday to Silicon Valley.
I know. I probably hate it. What could be better than Hastings? Come on.
I know. Oh dear, I dropped something on the floor.
That sounded like a drum.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was my laptop. No one panic. It's okay. It was quite near the floor. Just caught it with my foot. Ted's come over to investigate. It's okay.
Oh, he's on the case.
Question for you myself, and that is, what's the future? What's your ambition and aspiration for the future be?
Me? Oh, I thought you were talking to Mollie. And what's my inspiration?
Mollie's dream is to carry on working for me.
Of course it is. Of course. So, well, you know what? I really like to go into domestic size sculpture. Now, actually, you've got one. I think you represent one of the sculpture that I really like. It's a woman that makes things with little sticks and things. What's her name? Oh, the matter. Anyway, that's sort of my ambition. My ambition is to keep working. And it doesn't really matter what medium, as long as I'm still creating something. That's the important thing. I don't know how to stop, really. I don't know how to stop. I've thought about stopping. I think, what the hell am I doing sitting here? I've got sweat dripping off my nose. This is madness. I'm too old for this. But what would I do? Yeah, I would just annoy people, wouldn't I? I'd just go around annoying people.
You just make us laugh. Honestly, it's been such good fun. Good fun. And Mollie's been brilliant as always.
Mollie's been brilliant. Can I say one other thing? Because Mollie asked me who has helped me. Well, himself who lost the ring. He's helped because he built the website. Oh my God. Wow. And he does all the technology. And you know what? I've got to keep him now. I haven't really made up my mind. I've had him for 48 years and I don't know if I'm going to keep him. But I think I have to, because
I think it might reach the returns policy now.
Yeah, but you don't want to rush these things, do you? You don't want to rush these things.
I think
anyway,
you have definitely become a bit of Hastings.
You think?
Yeah, your humour is definitely
Hastings.
Fabulous. Your husband,
Thank you so much.
Is a very lucky man.
No, he says that he's very, very unlucky because he's had to put up with me for 48 years. Yeah. Mm.
Well, I think
the reason he stayed.
I think anyone who stays around that long time, yeah.
Yeah.
That's been wonderful, both of you. Thank you so much. And tomorrow we've got 2 people. So Mollie and I are going to do a double-hander tomorrow because we've got 2 people. We've got Caroline Fraser coming from Canada, and we've got Hildegard Pax, the glass artist, coming from Tunbridge in the UK. So yes, glass and photography tomorrow. So I've thoroughly enjoyed. I really want a piece of Bee's jewellery. I don't know about you. I love
well, thank you so much.
That was just beautiful. And thank you so much for being so sharing and generous with your thoughts. It's been absolutely superb. So we will I think someone may have popped a question in the question box, Mollie. You know how they do. They're cheeky and they get that in. Can you add your events on WebTalk? I will look at that. That's obviously a question for me.
Yes.
I'll have a look at that and see if I can. Edith said that was very entertaining.
I love you, Edith.
And it was brilliantly entertaining. So yes, Mollie and I will see you all tomorrow, and hopefully you'll be on the other side and watching and asking lots of questions.
Yes.
And thank you so much. And
thank you.
Bye for now, and we'll see you all tomorrow. All right.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye, Mollie. Thank you.
Bye. Take care. Bye.